Hello friends, today we are going to discuss again a wedge and a block problem where we are supposed to find the normal reaction exerted by a wedge on the block. Let me define the problem for you. We have a wedge on a smooth frictionless surface, and on this smooth frictionless surface I have placed a block. The block has mass small m, whereas the wedge has mass capital M. This surface is smooth and so is this surface. That is why as the block slides down to the right, wedge will move to the left. We are supposed to find the normal reaction between these two surfaces as the block slides down. That is our problem, to find the normal reaction. We have discussed this problem before, but let us today go for a different approach without using the concept of a pseudo force. So let us draw the free body diagram of the wedge as well as the block. The problem is to find the normal reaction. Let me take the block somewhere over here and let us see what are the forces acting on this block. The force acting on this block is the weight mg and the normal reaction N, which is perpendicular to the line of contact. Let us take this angle as theta. Let us take this height as h. As discussed before, if this angle is theta, this also will be theta. So what are the two forces acting on this particular block? One is N and the other is mg. I am going to find the actual force acting on this block with respect to a coordinate system, horizontal and vertical. So let me resolve N vertically. It gives me N cos theta and N sin theta. I need not resolve mg because it is already acting vertically downwards. Now I want to give you a word of caution here. We are supposed to find the normal reaction, and if you resolve mg, let me do it separately for you and see what exactly there is a confusion. If I resolve mg for you and I say that this is mg cos theta and this is normal reaction, we will tend to say that N is nothing but mg cos theta, as there is no motion along the vertical direction. This would have been true had the wedge been stationary, had the wedge been fixed, N would have been equal to mg cos theta. But please note, in this particular problem, as the block is sliding down to the right, the wedge is also moving to the left, and that is why this N and mg cos theta will not cancel out each other. In fact, they will provide a component of acceleration in the direction perpendicular to the plane, perpendicular to this line. That is why the most commonly found misconception here is we tend to write N equal to mg cos theta, which will be wrong in this case. In this case, N and mg cos theta will not be same. Let me repeat, had the wedge been fixed, we could have said N is equal to mg cos theta, but here wedge is also moving. So in fact, N is going to be less than mg cos theta. So let us see in vector form what acceleration is acting on this block. In the vector form, the total force acting on the on the block, let me use the suffix small m, it's N sin theta to the right I bar, and in the downward direction I will say N cos theta minus W into J bar. Of course, I am using a sign convention. Upward is positive and downward is negative. If we consider the downward component of the acceleration, it will be ulta. It will be W minus n cos theta. Here W is nothing but mg. So let me write the force F as mass into acceleration of m, and that is given by n sin theta I bar plus n cos theta minus W j bar. So what is the acceleration? The acceleration is given by n sin theta upon n I bar plus n cos theta minus W upon n j bar. So the vertically downward component of acceleration is this, whereas this is the horizontal component of the acceleration. I am going to need this particular part in our solution. But let us keep it aside for the time being, and let us try to find the free body diagram of the wedge. According to Newton's third law, whatever normal reaction which is acting on the block, the same normal reaction will act on the wedge. So the direction of n will be reversed. It will be just this. And if I resolve this, again, this angle will be theta, this angle will be theta, this will be n cos theta, and this will be n sin theta. The only force which is pushing the wedge horizontally to the left is n sin theta, and that is why the acceleration of the force acting on the wedge, which is having a mass capital N, in the vector form is given by minus n sin theta into j bar, and that is why, I bar, and that is why the acceleration of the wedge is given by minus n sin theta upon m. Please note, the negative sign simply indicates it is moving to the left, otherwise numerically it is n sin theta upon m. So I have got two equations. One is in Am and other is in A capital N. But the unknowns are three: acceleration of the block, acceleration of the wedge, as well as the normal reaction n. If there are three unknowns, we need to have three equations. So here is an attempt to find the third equation. And this is going to be a little difficult part of this particular discussion. Let us consider a point over here which is moving to the left with an acceleration am. This angle is also theta, and they are corresponding angles. So if I resolve this into two components, this is going to be am cos theta and this is going to be am sin theta. The acceleration of this particular point in the direction perpendicular to this plane of wedge is am into sin theta. At the same time, let us find the acceleration of this block perpendicular to the wedge. The acceleration of this block perpendicular to this particular surface, say in this direction a small m, and this particular component, in this direction acceleration, and this particular component which is the acceleration of the wedge perpendicular to this surface, both of them are going to be same, because as the block is moving along the incline, its perpendicular component is not changing, and that is why the perpendicular component of the wedge's acceleration and perpendicular component of the block's acceleration are both going to be equal to each other. And this is a slightly difficult part to understand. Maybe you will be able to understand it in a better way if you consider this point situated over here, and you can understand that both these accelerations will be same because the point is always in contact with this block. So let us try to understand this concept and let us convert it into an equation. The component of acceleration, let me resolve this separately. If this is mg, this will be mg cos theta, and this is n. So the total downward force acting on this will be mg cos theta minus n, because mg cos theta is downward and it is upward. This divided by the mass gives me the acceleration A along the line which is perpendicular to this plane. This acceleration is same as the perpendicular component of A capital N, which is A capital N into sin. This is the only complicated problem, only complicated part in this issue. Mg cos theta minus n upon m is going to be equal to am into sin theta is the force, of course, divided by am into sin theta. That's correct. So this is the equation which relates n with capital AM. Now let us try to find the value of n from this discussion. We have already studied the relationship between AM and n. Let me recall this for you. The component n was acting like this, and this was a component n sin theta to the left. So we said that the force acting on the wedge is n sin theta, which is mass of the wedge, into AM, and that gives me AM as n sin theta upon capital N. I am going to use this value over here in order to find the value of n. So let us do that. I will have to wipe out the entire board for you because of lack of space. I will keep only these three things here which are necessary for our solution. So please see here, mg cos theta minus n upon m is equal to am, which is same as n sin theta upon capital M into sin theta. That gives me mg cos theta minus n upon m is n sin square theta upon capital N. Now we are going to, of course, cross multiply and try to get n on one side. That gives me m mg cos theta minus nn is small m into n into sin square theta. That is capital N into small m into g cos theta. Let me take it on this side. It's mn into sin square theta plus nn. Capital M into small m into g cos theta. Let me take n common. It's n sin square theta plus capital N. That is the end of our solution. The normal reaction is capital N into small m into g cos theta upon capital N plus small m into sin square theta. This is the normal force exerted by the wedge on the block. The only difficult part in this discussion was to understand that the perpendicular component of acceleration due to the block was same as perpendicular component of acceleration due to the wedge. If there is any difficulty in understanding this particular concept, the same problem can be solved by some other method also. So let us see that other method, how to solve this particular problem. For this, I will have to redraw the entire wedge and entire block system. Again, I have to go for the free body diagram and I will have to repeat the entire procedure. So please bear with me. Let us repeat the entire procedure with a different perspective here. This is a wedge. As before, this is the normal reaction. This is the weight mg, this angle is theta, this angle is theta, this height is h. Let us consider the vertically downward component of the block. As before, let me resolve this as n cos theta. Please note that there is a downward acceleration which will be given by, what will be the downward force? The downward force will be mg minus n cos theta divided by mass gives you the downward acceleration of the block. This is a vertically downward acceleration. Now please note, as the block moves from this particular point to this particular point, how much is the vertical distance covered? The vertical distance covered is h. So the vertical distance in the downward direction is h. The acceleration in the downward direction is this. I can use this to find the value of time. How much time does it take to come from this particular point to this particular point? And it is given by the formula S is equal to ut plus half kt square. The downward displacement is h. Initial velocity is 0. And what is the downward acceleration? Is this mg minus n cos theta upon small n into t square. I am going to mark this as equation number 1. This procedure that we are going to follow now is slightly lengthy because now I am going to find out by the time the block reaches from top to bottom along the incline, by how much does this wedge move to the left. And for that we have to use the principle of conservation of angular momentum. Actually, I have already discussed this funda, that when there is no external force acting, the center of mass remains constant. Suppose this is a block M1 and this is block M2, and if it moves a distance d1 and this moves a distance d2, then M1 d1 is equal to M2 d2, because the center of mass must remain fixed. We will have to use this concept in finding out how much distance does the wedge move towards left by the time this block comes down. Let us do that quickly. The total distance traveled by the wedge and the block together is equal to the horizontal distance. We are talking only about horizontal distance, and this distance is going to be h upon tan theta. Suppose the block capital N travels a distance x, then the small n travels a distance which is h upon tan theta minus x, and that is why we have m into x is small m into h upon tan theta minus x. If I rearrange it, I will get m plus m into x is mh upon tan theta, and that gives me the distance travelled by the wedge as mh upon m plus n tan theta. This is the distance travelled by the wedge to the left by the time the block goes down. Again, I will use the equation in this format, that is S equal to ut plus half kt square. If I use it here, S is equal to ut plus half am into t square. Please recall that am was n sin theta upon capital N, and x is this distance. So if I substitute, I will get mh upon m plus n tan theta. Initial speed is 0 only. So half, what is an? N sin theta upon m into t square. This is equation number 2. This is equation number 1. If I divide these two equations, t square will cancel, and I will be able to get the value of n sin theta. So let me do 2 upon 1. mh upon n plus n tan theta divided by h is half n sin theta upon n divided by this whole thing. When I divide this, 2n will go up, and upon mg minus n cos theta. As you can see, t square and t square here will cancel. So this is the equation. And if we simplify and rearrange the terms, we should get the value of n. Let us quickly see how to do that. This is going to be a lengthy exercise. The first thing I will do is I will cancel this h and h. I will cancel this 2 and 2. Small m and small m will cancel. Capital M into mg minus n cos theta. This whole thing will go to the left. Let us see what we have to the right. It is m plus n tan theta into n sin theta. Let me resolve this. Let me simplify this. mmg minus mn cos theta. It's m plus n tan theta into n sin theta. Let me bring mg on. Let me give mn cos theta on this side. That gives me mmg is equal to mn cos theta plus n plus n tan theta is sin theta upon cos theta, so it is sin square theta upon cos theta into n. Now it is all simple mathematical simplifications. This cos theta will go here. The cos theta will transfer on this side. Cos square theta plus sin square is 1. Capital M will come common. Here we will have m sin square theta. And that gives you the final expression of n as mg cos theta upon capital M plus small m sin square theta. Same as what we got with the previous funda of perpendicular component of accelerations. That was much simple mathematically, but much more difficult physically to understand. Whereas here it is much more easier to understand physically, but much more complicated mathematically. Ultimately, giving us the same answer. This answer can also be used to find the acceleration of the block, because we know that the acceleration of the block is n sin theta upon capital N. Just substitute capital N for this and you will be able to get the acceleration of the block M. Using that, you will be able to also find the velocity of block M. Thank you very much for having patience with this very intricate and complicated problem. Thanks a lot.